From the beginning, the divine feminine has always been. She is the great mother, the origin from which all life stems. All praise the Most High. The royal is a meter, the royal is a meter, the royal is a meter. Tall Panel Podcast. The royal is a meter, the royal is a meter, the royal is a meter. Tall Panel Podcast. Two sisters doing the work of the Most High, on a mission to be the voices of the unheard. We doing a new thing in the earth, as it was written in Jeremiah 31:22. We were called from our mother's womb, and we both just want to say thank you to our higher power. We on a mission, setting examples for our people. Praying to God every day.
How is everyone doing?
Shalom, my sister. Salam alaikum. Doing fine.
Greetings.
Peace and love, everybody.
Well, I want to thank you all for joining us this evening for this very important topic. I'm going to look at my screen, so I'm going to call you one by one, and I'm going to go ahead and let you all introduce yourself and just kind of give us a brief, introduction of who you are, what you do, your philosophy on life and health. So I'm going to start from the first person would be Empress Meeks. Thank you for joining us this evening.
Blessings and grace, everyone.
Peace.
I'm Empress Meeks. I am a vegan, plant-based Itu chef that specializes in Caribbean soul food. That is my background. My mother's from the South and my father's from Jamaica. So I put all of that intentions into my food. I became an Itu chef around COVID time. So I'm very intentional about what I make for my clients, how they intake the food and digest the food, so that it doesn't leave them sluggish, but it's also live food to give them full of energy.
All praises. Okay.
Okay. Next, we have the plant lady, Miss Tangia Taylor.
Greetings, everyone. My name is Tangia Taylor. I do go by the Plant Lady. I'm thrilled to join you all today for this enlightening discussion on food for divine versus food of devils. My profession is I'm a strategic outsourcing specialist for Tailor-Made Global Logistics, and I'm also executive director for Wise Butterfly, the ag department. And I'm located in Shreveport, Louisiana. And I'm originally from Florida, born and raised in Florida. My parents are from Florida. I grew up on the agriculture side. My dad was a fruit and vegetable harvester. So I'm a passionate advocate for health and wellness. I believe that what we eat profoundly influences our physical, mental, and emotional well-being. My philosophy centers around the idea that clean living is not just about diet, it's about embracing a holistic approach that nurtures the body, mind, and spirit. For people of color, this journey is especially vital. Historically, our communities have faced unique challenges related to food access, culture, food practices, and health disparities. I strive to empower individuals by promoting awareness of nutritious options and encouraging mindful eating habits that honor our rich culinary traditions. By choosing foods that nourish us and aligning our choice with our values, we can reclaim our health and well-being. I'm excited to dive deeper into the topic today and explore how we can all make conscious choices for a healthier future. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, next we have Dr. Reason Flores.
Greetings, everybody. My name is Dr. Reed Flores. I am a chiropractor, and I've been doing chiropractic for over 20 years. I was invited to the talk by Princess Ada, and she asked me to come in here and share some of my knowledge and information with everybody. My philosophy in life is basically living as natural as you can live. I've started my health journey when I was 19, and it led me into chiropractic. And basically, what chiropractic is removing nerve interference from the nervous system by adjusting the joints in the spine. And today's topic is all about food. And a lot of people come to my office to get themselves out of pain. And chiropractic is an added benefit to your lifestyle to help with your health. But if you don't have your diet right and you're not eating properly, not getting the proper nutrients in your body, it won't enhance your chiropractic experience. So I'm here in Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm honored to be here to talk with everybody about eating healthy and living right. And thank you for letting me be a part of it.
Thank you for your
Thank
time.
you. Next, I have our co-host, Miss Sister Rafaela.
Hey, peace and love, everybody. How you all doing out there?
Peace and love.
We want to thank you all for donating your time to enlighten all of us and to educate our people. Of course, this podcast does not generate monies because we don't do it for money. We do it for the edification of ourselves and our people. So we want to thank you all. And Princess Ada, we donate our time into this as well because we're so compassionate about the welfare of our own people. Doesn't matter what spiritual faith you practice, what religion you are involved in, because at the end of the day, we have the same problems and we are the same people. Thank you.
Okay. Next, we have Brother Kevin Muhammad.
Salam alaikum, family. And Brother Kevin Jamal Muhammad here in Springfield, Ohio. I want to thank you, Princess Adai and Sister Raphael, for having this program and the brothers and sisters that's on here. I am a student of the Honorable Mr. Louis Farrakhan of the teachings of the Most Honorable Elijah Muhammad. And for us, we've been talking about how to eat to live for years. And it's great to see the fact is that from coming from the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and 80s and 90s, that this new generation, this new resurrection that is in our community of us to eat, live, and how to eat, live. So I'm coming as also a counselor and I deal with the mental. And so the fact is that how food that we eat affects, like the sister said earlier, it affects us spiritually and physically, but it also is a component of mental. And I have been a student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad and Ms. Louis Farrakhan and find out how it has helped me over the years as far as my appearance, as far as my mental thinking, and as far as curbing some ailments that I've had from PTSD, from sugar diabetes, and not saying I'm cured for those, but don't have those same ailments as bad as I once was when I came out the military. So I just promote how to eat to live, and eating fruits and vegetables is the best way for us to eat.
Thank you so
All
much.
praise.
Next, we have Tarika Johnson.
Hi, everyone.
Peace and love, baby.
Hi, I'm Rafala's daughter, Tarek. I was on the last one too. So I'm from Jacksonville, Florida, like my mom, and I'm currently studying natural medicine. So it's just nice to be on here and just take from everyone and also give what I'm probably learning in the process. So my take on nutrition is I feel like it's very important. I feel like a lot of the diseases that we encounter are greatly influenced by diet. So it's by a healthy diet, physical activity, and just making those changes that can reverse a disease. And it has a much greater impact than just any drug or supplement you can take. So I feel like that's a huge part.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next we have Tiffany Tesfa Guma. I don't want to butcher your name.
Greetings, everybody.
Greetings, peace and love.
So once again, yes, my name is Tiffany Tesfaguma. I have a company called Full Circle Aesthetics. My credentialing is I am a licensed massage therapist. I am a certified nutrition coach. I'm also a certified hypnotherapist, as well as just a student, an ongoing student like Brother Muhammad over here. And really, my whole philosophy is an integrated approach to health and wellness where we address the whole individual's body, soul, and spirit. We accomplish this via holistic nutrition and fitness coaching, body care, and awareness of the importance of healthy self-perception. We do a lot of dialogue about spiritual health because we do believe that change starts in the spirit and how it transfers to the mind and then integrates into the body. That's pretty much it in a nutshell.
And then last but not least, we have Sister Cece Pruitt. Oh, we can't hear you, sis.
I was on mute. Sorry. I'm screaming, Willie, they can't hear me. Okay. Sorry. So, my name is Sister Cece Pruitt, and my husband and I, we are the, I got it. I got it. We are, we run PQLR1 Radio, where Yah is first. You can check us out on YouTube. If you have an Android app or you have the Android, you can download the app and listen to our radio station. You can also check us out on all social media networks. Again, where Yah is first. We really focus on making sure that we play music and content that is approved by the Father. Because this walk is so serious in these times. We want to initiate health and wellness all around for our people, spirit, mind, body, soul, financial, because we're all on this journey together. My journey started because my mother was diagnosed with cancer, and I'll just say at the last minute because it was a stage 4, and I didn't understand anything about that. Not really healthy eating or anything like that. Of course, I had come off the pork and all of that because I was already believing in Yah. But as far as anything else beyond that, I was happy to be thick like everybody else and, just went with that. But I didn't realize that we carry so much weight. If you have big breasts or big thighs or big behind, that's fat. That is where your fat is stored. Big legs, that's where your fat is stored. And people don't realize that. They just kind of go with the flow. And so that's where my journey began. And that was back in 2012, 2013. So since then, I've been on a healthy trek to make sure that not only am I making myself better to educate others, but also doing the same thing for my family. So my husband and I both have, testimony of losing, massive amounts of weight by just coming off of the sugar and animal products. And when I say animal products, I mean all animal products, with the exception of honey. We do have honey, but eggs and milk and cheese and ice cream and all these different things, especially meat, because of the toxins that are pumped in these things. So we right now are really heavily studying parasitic infection, because this is another thing that we have not been taught in the school system. That we are all living with demons called parasites that are in our body. You're not really going to get rid of them, but what you want to do is offload a great majority of them so that you do not come up with the diseases that they don't tell you the truth about. And I am 100% confident in telling you that all disease and infection that we come upon comes from parasite infections. And this is not a little matter. It is a big deal. When you hear people having Alzheimer's and MS and all these different things, parasites have greatly affected a person's brain. So I'm happy to be here and talk with everyone. And yeah, so that is me.
Thank you,
Thank you
sister.
so
That's wonderful.
much. So I want to kind of get us right into this. First, I want to ask this question: how many people here are plant-based or are vegan? How many of y'all, don't know meats? No, I know Sister Cece, Sister Raphael. I know Empress Meek. She's plant-based. So Tiffany, you're plant-based. Oh no. Okay, Dr. Ree, you're plant-based. Vegan.
Pretty much. I'm not 100%, maybe 95%.
Okay. So with that, I want to ask, let's go all the way back to the beginning. I know we're kind of like different faiths here, but I think everybody's probably read the Bible. And in the beginning, it's, God created the heavens and earth. And one of the things in the beginning he created was the food that we were to eat. And all of that, none of that was animal product. It was what grew from the ground or the trees, right?
Right.
So that being said, when it comes to the melanated body, how many of you think that meat is not meant for us to consume?
Meat isn't meant for us to
It's not.
consume.
Yes, it's not. I mean, even though I'm gonna admit that I struggle with that as a student, but I'm getting better as it. But the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us that fruits and vegetables are the best for us. Now, he did say that with there is some vegetables we should not eat, but the fruits and vegetables we're about fruitarians and vegetarian by nature. That no meat is good for us. And especially with now, with the things that's going on, with what's going on now in the world, and we feel that the people in charge right now that their end is coming, that they're poisoning a lot of the meat in the grocery store. So yes, no meat is really good for you. Not even chicken. You have to be able to raise them a certain way. And now fish is not meat, and that's why in the month of Ramadan, especially for myself, we I do not partake in any land animals at all during the month of Ramadan for myself. And I feel a lot better when I don't eat that way. So yes, there's a lot of my teaches us that no meat is good for us in book How to Eat to Live, both 1 and 2. If you ever read that book.
Speaking of chicken, do any of you believe that chicken is hybrid and that it should be eaten?
What you say, Sister
I don't
Cece?
believe you should eat any flesh, whether it be chicken, fish, anything that has a scale, that has blood, is meat. A lot of people think that fish is not meat, but it bleeds. Yeah, so I don't believe that we should be eating any of those things. We should be eating leafy greens, fruits, and grains. That's where we would get the most of our vitamin C, our potassium, all the things that we need is that we eat from the earth and the fullness thereof.
Empress Meeks, you're a idol chef, and the word idol, can you kind of break that down for those who may not understand what that means?
Idol means that we eat from the ground, we eat from the earth. We use natural herbs and spices to season our food with very little powder seasoning. We eat fresh and we don't use any salt. That's what makes it idol. And if you're going to use any salt, you would use pink Himalaya salt to a minimum. So that is what idol means. It means eating from the earth, the freshness of the food, not cooking down your vegetables. Vegetables should have a little crunch in it because when you cook all the vegetables down, they become limp and no nutrients is in that you're consuming. So that's what, I'm a Rastafarian daughter for 19 years. So we eat from the living God,
Indeed.
Yes, we eat from the living God. We try to heal ourselves as well as others from disease and viruses. Not to say that we won't get sick, but if we do get sick, it comes out naturally because this is something that we're consuming daily with our fresh teas, our tonics, our herbs. no sugary products, no white sugar, no white bread. Anything white is not conducive for you. So a lot of people like to eat rice. And I say, if you're going to eat rice, eat basmati rice or jasmine rice and very little of it. Eat more grains like kiowa, how you call it, millet, things that teff, amaranth. Those are very good grains for you.
Indeed. Question, what is the difference between seeded fruit and vegetables and unseeded fruits and vegetables, and should it be eaten?
Okay, seeded fruits are the best fruits for you, and seeded vegetables. Ones without seeds are GMO. And I know it's hard to get seeded fruits and stuff in the environment where we live at, but sometimes you have to step outside of your neighborhood and go into those other neighborhoods to get what you need. It may cost a little bit more, but it's more healthier for you. And if you can't get it, just make sure that you're washing your fruits and your vegetables very well, because now that they know everyone wants to go on a plant-based journey, they are messing with the foods and the fruits. You see that the cucumbers these days, they are so gigantic. Like, it is unbelievable. Like, nothing is healthy. There is poison all around us. They're trying to poison us from the foods, the fruits, anything that we consume. They are trying to poison us. So we have to be mindful and intentional what we putting in our bodies.
I want to say that too, sister, that if I may, is that we've gone around the stores, and there is a big push, brothers and sisters, to not have seeded vegetables and seeded fruits in today's market. One of the things they're doing is that if you've gone around, if you look at a lot of the stores, even if you're looking at some of the health food stores, that they're not having seeded grapes anymore in these stores. And we've asked the reasons why. The reasons why they're saying that it's not a so-called big demand for them. But that's not true. I think all of us know in here that in this country, that it's major big money, according to what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says and Honorable Mr. Farrakhan says, in sickness. So if you get sick, if I take the natural of a fruit that God Allah made, then I make it, if I genetic graft it or GMO, as my sister said, I know it's going to cause sickness in the long run. And pretty much they put those type of vegetables and fruits in our neighborhood. So therefore, that's the reason why we sometimes are the most unhealthiest. We're getting sick, but there's money in that. Health insurance, doctor bills, pharmaceuticals. So we have to eventually get to grow our own food, grow our own fruits, and I'm starting to see that it's that great separation that is going on now, which we talked about what's going to end up happening. It's going on now with the food. There's a big push of us in our community who wants to eat healthy, but we can't go to our oppressor and ask them to feed us. We got to feed ourselves.
Absolutely.
I want to get Tiffany and then Tangia, but Dr. Reed, I want you to prepare something to say about what he was just saying about the medical aspect of this, right? Because because of the diet, a lot of people are sick, being pumped with all of this medication. You know what I mean? And maybe you can tell us something that can be done different to help us to steer clear of traditional doctors and medicine. But let me get Sister Tiffany and Tangia first.
Thank you. Let me lower my hand here. So there was just a couple of things I thought was interesting. And first, let me say I actually agree with everyone to a certain extent. I do believe that the comparison between the GMO, I would like to see information regarding chickens, means that most birds are, if you look at evolution, are derived from reptiles, but that would be interesting read. And I'm sure you've all read it somewhere. So please put the information in the chat. But there was one thing, Sister Ada, that I wanted to just address in Genesis 9. I know not all of us are of the same faith, but with an open mind here. Genesis 9 says when Noah offboarded the ark, Yahuwah said, every moving creature that lives is food for you. I have given you all as the green plants, but do not eat the flesh with its life in the blood. So I do agree with my sister Bryant, with not eating the blood. The food should be cooked thoroughly. I myself, although I don't consider myself plant-based, I do not eat a lot of meat at all, just because of the type of fibrous tissue, the connective tissue of the meat. So there are certain meats that are harder to digest. They take longer in the digestive tract to be broken down, which can cause a lot of fermentation in the gut and is not transferred effectively, which can cause bacteria growth, feeding a lot of other nasty things that pass through our guts. But we are made fearfully and wonderfully in order to kill a lot of these things, our body temperature, a lot of our cells, and how we operate cellularly. There's also the fact of cleansing, because of the simple fact that we are going to have a bug or two. I like to call those biological upgrades, because sometimes we are introduced to different flora based on location and things along those lines. When it comes to our fallen nature from creation, I do believe that is, and this is just a theory, this is not a fact, but due to our fallen nature, I do believe that is possibly why meat was allowed, because there was a divine nature in which we existed once upon a time, and we were not outside of the garden. Within the garden, it was plant-based. But once we had fallen from grace, I do believe that that is part of it. And again, that's just in reading, having prayer conversations on my own. But, you know, I leave it to you to ponder. But I do agree with all of you to a certain extent. And yes, I do believe that the way food is processed, again, our fallen nature causes us to operate in such a manner where we are poisoning the food. Just the minds of the individuals that operate in such a manner where they see profit and gain, I would be quite sure that they don't eat the foods that they present to us, but also that there is the awareness with that fallen state that there is this conveyor belt of unhealthy food, and then the fact that we are not educated on cleansing, on how to eat healthy, that in our environments, in our communities, there is not the proper access to these foods that are healthy, that are cleansing, our herbs. A lot of these things are expensive as well. So it's kind of out of our reach. And then we then go to our hospitals and through our medical systems, who then, as a result, give us the drugs, which are derivatives of plants, but they are derivatives, which makes them drugs in and of themselves. So it becomes a vicious cycle, but it's also a matter of accessibility on a consistent basis, because health is something that is a consistent process, not a one and done. But that was just something I had wanted to share. Thank you so much.
Tangia?
Yes, I wanted to piggyback off everything that everyone was saying about where your food is coming from. I grew up in that industry. My father grew up in the migrant sector of growing food for this country. And growing up in the fruit and vegetable industry, we saw the changes. My father farmed for many farmers and saw the changes when they started putting more pesticides in the food. So when it comes to eating clean or eating healthy, even if we're getting these foods out of the stores and we are vegan or we are omnivores, how clean is the food? Because a lot of these big box farmers, these commercial farmers, are paid very well to put these pesticides and herbicides in our foods. They have to follow the rules and regulations of the USDA. And if they don't get funded. So this is where we as a collective have to start looking into growing our own food. Because regardless if we do go to the Whole Food store, Trader Joe's, any of those places, we still don't know what's in that food just because they say that is organic. Because they could be using chicken poop, cow manure, worm castings, all of those things. And the only way that we, when I say we, as a household or as individuals or a collective community, going to know how our food is truly, it is our food that we truly eat from farm to table, is it truly clean to our spiritual knowledge? Because for individuals who say that I'm vegan or I don't eat this and I don't eat that, we don't know what's in Trader Joe's. We don't know what's in the Whole Food store. Just because it got the organic label on it doesn't mean it's organic. We have to turn back to our traditional ways of growing our own foods. We have to connect with local farmers. And you have to ask those questions. What type of soil do you use? What type of fertilizer do you use? What type of herbicides do you use? Because we don't know what these people are putting, even the local farmers, what they are putting in their foods. And when it comes to GMO, majority of everything that's in our big box stores are GMO, because those seeds that's in there, they don't reproduce. They may have seeds in them, but they don't reproduce. You have to know the difference between GMO and heirloom. You have to, or organic. And this is a broad topic because a lot of us out here, we are misinformed and we do have misinformation. So we have to inform ourselves on these topics when it versus GMO versus non-GMO. Because you can have non-GMO and it still don't reproduce
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of these plants and fruit and vegetables that we are eating, they are a clone. They are a hybrid of something else. And a lot of these big box stores and seed companies, they have patents to a lot of these fruit and vegetables. Houseway, because it's done. Excuse me. And so we have to educate ourselves on a lot of these topics, a lot of these subjects, because a lot of these things that we cook with don't reproduce. They may have seeds in them, but they don't reproduce. So, I grow for a living. I started to take back my own life, because my own freedom, because whoever controls the food controls the world. So the more that we eat from them, they're going to control us, because we're addicted to everything that they have in those stores.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But what I wanted to ask him was also, with the diet, okay, because I myself have struggled with dieting, exercise, losing weight, right? And I looked up something that said how highly addictive. I knew like sugar and was highly addictive, but I recently found out that dairy, like cheese, had something in it that was addictive that I never knew. And I consumed so much cheese, like even when I was giving up meat, I still wanted cheese all the time. So, and I was noticing like, I would go to the doctor and I would ask my doctor, how can I lose weight? And she would give me generic, I think it was something called the DASH diet, no white flour, no white sugar, no white whatever, you know what I mean? But every time I would ask her, that was basically all her knowledge when it came to losing weight. And then she even began to tell me, well, I too am addicted to cheese and I'm trying to lose weight too. And she wanted to give me a shot to take in my stomach, which I did, and ended up making me sick. Um, and so I'm like, well, if you're a medical doctor and went to medical school and you don't even know how to tell me how to get healthy, and you want to keep popping pills in me and stuff. So as a chiropractor, and I know you also deal with holistic health, what is your take on that?
Right.
Can anybody see this book? Let me see my camera. You can't even see it. It's called How to Eat to Live. I don't think you can see it. But anyways, I'm not in the Nation of Islam, but if you guys get a chance to read that book, it's some very interesting things in there. Like to eat. Like one of the things I stopped doing was eating corn because of reading this book. How hard it was on our body. It speaks of white potatoes. Like some of the food that we eat is kind of considered cattle food, like for animals, feed food, but we consume it on a regular, So if you get a chance to get that book, How to Eat to Live, it has some very interesting things in there, but we can progress. Go ahead, Sister Rafaela.
Well, when it comes to taking medications, or you want me to talk about the milk and the cheese? Well, one of the things with the milk, it has a protein in it called casein, and this particular protein, a lot of humans have a hard time digesting or breaking it down. Like a cow has specific protein or enzymes to break down their foods, and they have multiple stomachs as well, so they can digest and digest and digest. But for us, we may not have the enzymes to digest the milk, so a lot of times milk will cause a lot of mucus formation in the body. The body will produce a lot of congestion in the sinuses and the lungs and the stomach. The body will produce this mucus basically as a protection mechanism of any kind of foreign substances that come into the body. It's like a net that catches all the toxic waste that we ingest, so that the body can eliminate either through the nose, through sneezing, coughing it out, vomiting, and even when it goes down the other way, diarrhea and things like that. But when it comes to like medications, all the medicines are synthetic, meaning they're man-made, and we're all here educated, and a lot of the people that we're talking to right now may not have the information that we have. So that's what I'm thankful for, this type of gathering to get together to talk about it. So when medication, because it's synthetic, it's made by man, all of the medications have side effects. And these side effects affect our bodies and cause other symptoms to come about in our bodies. So when a lot of people come to me, they're taking medications, and sometimes they're taking a whole page of medications. And the reason they're taking all these medicines is because when they go into the medical model and they take their first medication, it will cause some type of side effect. Then they'll go back to medical model and they'll say, well, now this is happening to me. Now they'll get a second prescription to take care of that symptom. And then that will cause another symptom or side effect. And then they'll go back and get another medication to take care of that. And it's just a progression of falling deeper and deeper into the pit of being dependent on medication. And medication's not going to cure you. It's not going to heal you. It's just going to postpone those symptoms off for another time. And once we understand that, then we'll begin to start our healing journey, because we don't want to be dependent on medications for the rest of our lives. And that's what the medical model is designed to do, is to keep us dependent on going back and staying on these medications. We got to educate ourselves, like all of the other ladies were saying. That's the key. And we have to take personal responsibility for our own health. We can't just go to a medical doctor and say, what's the answer to my problem? We've got to research it out and look it up. Today's the information age. Everything is online, and we can look up anything. We don't have to go to libraries no more. I got to look up anything, go anywhere. We can just find it all online right now. Any kind of symptoms, any kind of medications you're taking, look up that medication and find out what the side effects. You'll see that it has a whole list of side effects. And then as you begin to educate yourself on what medications you're taking, you can work with somebody that has some knowledge about plants and diet and eating and herbs to wean yourself off of these meds, because the plants are going to heal you, and the plants are going to give you that cure that you're looking for. You just have to find out where it is. All the plants on the earth are designed to heal our body. That medicine, the food is our medicine, and we got to find out what foods we need to eat to heal ourselves.
Oh, I wanted to give you all my personal testimony. My daughter is on here, and she actually can witness that I was diagnosed with cancer back in 2021. Am I correct about the year, Terica? 2022. So is what motivated me to go plant-based, which I'm 98% plant-based, by the way. It's a process. However, that motivated me to totally change my diet. I actually went on a fast for 7 weeks. And all I ate for 7 weeks was fruits, vegetables, which was I cooked. I think I didn't. I ate uncooked vegetables and fruit and smoothies for 7 weeks. When I went back to my doctor, because they was talking about going further, he actually did an exam on me. He said, "Wait a minute." He said, "I see evidence here, but it's gone." So I actually reversed my condition with my diet. So I just wanted to let you, share that with you guys. Maybe that'll motivate some people out there.
Well, Sister Raphael, I want to say that too. I think that not only that you what Honorable Elijah Muhammad says here in Sister Mendon Hollywood, but also too, you change your thinking. I think a lot of us want us to understand too is that how we think affects to how the food goes in our bodies and digestive system. So we have to change our thinking. If we have negative thoughts, that food affects our body as we take it inside our bodies. If we have negative thoughts, we have to be very careful about what type of environment we're in. If we're in an environment that is not in a good thinking environment, that affects us how we think and affects the food just in our digestive system too. So that's the reason why we promote that you be in a peaceful environment. Be careful what you watch on TV, what type of music you listen to. Try not to be in a lot of dispute. I know we live in an imperfect world, so we're going to have some things. We're going to be in an environment that's not too good. But the mental food of us, how we thinking, praying, fasting, reading good books. Be careful of watching stuff on social media, so people fighting each other. Those things affect our mental state. And when we eat, what we eat and what we watch has an ability to cause some of these elements that were in our society. What they've always do is that when you are having these elements, they put you in an environment that is more peaceful. If you notice that, they want you to live in an environment that's more peaceful. And with the new diet, it goes hand in hand. It's like when you get married, you want to, see that your partner is great, but you also want to bring your partner in a good environment so the relationship can last. So again, environment, mental, what we watch on TV, the type of music we listen to, that is all a part of it too, about how we digest our food and how our food affects us too.
Indeed.
Let's get these sisters in order. They've had their hands up a while. I'm gonna call you in the order that you raise your hand. So, Sister Cece, then Sister which name you want to be called? Because I know Sister Courtney is how I know you.
You can call me Ola. You can call me
Ola
or Yadora, either one.
Okay, and then Sister Tangia.
Okay. Thank you for giving me time again. So, I mean, I don't know where to start because we've said so much, but I want to go back to the chicken, because we have discussed meat, and we always will discuss meat because meat is an addiction. Meat is an addiction because of the chemicals that is in the meat. I don't care if you're eating grass fed because you have to ask yourself, what is the grass being fed? Because we know that, grass has all kind of chemicals in it and, the animals eat it. So when it comes to the scripture, hold on, let's see. Let me find it. I had it, but okay. So in Romans 12:1, the word says, I beseech you therefore, brethren, by the mercies of Yah, that ye present your bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable only unto Yah, which is your reasonable service. So our reasonable service is to make our bodies a living sacrifice as much as possible. So if I know to do better, then I should be doing better, like every day of my life, whether it be food, my communications with people, or whatever, I should be doing better. So when I look at meat and I see what they're doing to meat, that pretty much tells me what they're trying to do to me. Is our food imperfect? All of it is imperfect. But I'll tell you, any grocery store you go into, you can go to the back of the grocery store where the meat section and the seafood section is and all of that. And you just take a whiff and you smell dead bodies and you smell bleach. And that is because it's just chemical laden. From what I understand, before the meat even gets to the store, it's rotten. And that's why I see them putting vegetables on top of it and making it all cute because they pump it with chemicals and all kind of dyes. So it looks like what you're used to or what you think meat should be looking like. Okay. And that also goes for fish. They'll put all kind of colors in the fish because you think it's supposed to look a certain way, but it is full of chemicals and you are eating those things. Now, the vegetables are not perfect either, but again, presenting my body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable only unto Yah, I'm going to eliminate the meat. That's me. I'm going to eliminate the meat because I know that is what I can do. There's plenty of studies showing what the meat is doing to us because of what they're putting in the meat. And I will recommend people who are visual learners watch the movie What the Health. I have a snippet in my phone right now I'd like to play, but for time's sake, I know I don't have time. But in What the Health, they're showing you all of the chemicals. There's a long list of chemicals that they must basically put in this meat for it to go into the grocery stores. And that's just something that we've got to be aware of. And then speaking of the chicken, I was going to talk about the chicken. When you're trying to go on your healthy trek to better eating, people always say chicken and fish. Well, chicken is dirty. Chicken eats mice. If you take a rotisserie chicken from like Sam's Club or Costco and you throw it down there to the chickens, they will eat that. You can look at it on YouTube. Everything that I'm talking about is very verifiable. They will eat the rotisserie chicken. They'll eat mice. They'll eat bugs. They eat snakes. They eat rats. They eat anything. So does that not sound like a pig? Does that not sound unclean? Most of us here would agree that the pig is a filthy animal because, they eat the sores off their own bodies or each other's bodies. But the chicken is just as bad. Now, initially, the chicken was something called a guinea hen. I don't know if I've ever had a guinea hen, but I did used to eat Popeyes. Okay. And so that chicken from Popeyes is bigger than your head. Why is that? It's because it's laden with hormones and chemicals. So, a lot of people they're at different stages concerning what it is that they're consuming, whether it be social media or food. So we just have to start somewhere, because there's no reason at this time to be ignorant about anything, because what are you on social media for if you're not trying to better your life or better your lifestyle or your children's lives? There's a lot of information out here for us to teach ourselves. You don't need to go to a school and take out loans and grants and all this other nonsense that we've been taught to believe. YouTube University is great. TikTok University is great. If you want to learn something, it is there available to you. If you need to lose weight, it is there for you. I mean, I don't want to mess up my thing, but I did have the screen up showing like the weight that I had lost initially. When I got off meat, your body is like giving you a breath of fresh air. They're like doing a long sigh. When you get off that meat, at least for maybe a week, maybe 3 days, when you give your body that rest, your body starts automatically healing. When you fast, your body is automatically healing. That's another thing we definitely need to get back to, because I believe the Bible, and my source is Yahuwah. So I know what the Bible says. Some of these things do not leave except for by fasting and praying. You're going through something. Guess what? You need to do some I'm not going to say might. You need to do some fasting and praying so those things can get out of your system, because it totally resets your body. A lot of us say we believe the word, we believe the Bible, but we have never fasted. I mean, I have fasted. And another thing that I've done is something called a grape cure. There's a book, and you can get it free online. It's called The Grape Cure. I went on the grape cure for a month. I had achy joints, arthritis, feeling knees and all that. When I did that grape cure, you eat nothing but grapes. Until, however, you eat nothing but grapes. And I'm telling you, I felt like a new woman. I could jump out of the bed and I was good to go. But you got to start somewhere. Like, there is no excuse. Anytime you cannot get off of some foods or sugars or cheese or milk, that is the parasites talking. That's another thing. Like, we are still at first level understanding about a lot of things. And these parasites are serious. They are what is driving your thinking. They're what is driving people to be crazy and have cravings and literally just anything that you can think about. If you look, just Google, what does a parasite look like? They look like these aliens that they are putting in these movies. Okay. Because, they show us things and they make us think it's just a movie. No, they're showing us what we're really dealing with in real time, but we don't know that because we're so busy watching whatever people are watching, Real Housewives of whatever, we're distracted. That's what I'll say. We're distracted against what should really be in front of us so that we can take control of our lives. And again, make our bodies a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable only unto Yah. How can I do that? Every day, let me seek. How can I do that? Let me pray to the Father. Father, this is your body. How do you need me to do this? What is it that I need to be purging out? What about the Hebrew boys? Was it that them when they went on a vegetable diet? That they were like, we don't want the king's meat. They went on a pure vegetable diet, So why did they do that? They said, we're going to be stronger than anybody when we come out of this. Well, there was a reason for that. And, just like you all had the plural marriage thing, where we had that whole powwow, some things are permissible, but are they the best thing for you? You can have 10 wives, but is that the best thing for you? You can eat meat, but is that the best thing for you? I want the best thing for me that is going to allow me the longevity that I need to carry out his will, because that's what we always pray. Thy will be done. Well, how's thy will going to be done if I'm laid up in the bed sick, stuck to candy bars and Twinkies? You know what I'm saying? Stuck to pork chops and chicken legs. And, I can't get off of Ponderosa still a restaurant? I don't know, but I can't get off of Popeyes and all these other things. My goal is to make my body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto him. So I'll tell you, like, you Google in YouTube, best healthy movies to watch. Okay. For you visual learners, best healthy movies to watch. There is a whole list of movies. And I'm telling you, You can sit there and just binge out on these movies and learn what you need to learn. For those that like to read, you can go to your Libby app, Libby. Okay. There's an app that you can read books for free. You got to have a library card, but I'm telling you, the books I'm reading right now is The Cure for All Diseases. There's a book called Guess What Came to Dinner. It's talking about the parasites. This is Your Brain on Parasites. And let's see, what is another one? Clean, The New Science of Skin. That's a book where this man is talking about how he doesn't take baths anymore. Sounds gross because we heard recently these people don't use wash rags and all that other stuff, but it just gets deeper into like the causation behind sickness and disease concerning, things that we just don't readily know about. So I'm saying we got to really study more. Make yourself a student. Maybe you didn't do so good in school, but you need to create a school within yourself. So every day you're educating yourself about something. Read your Bible, of course. The Bible talks about worms. The Bible talks about being sick. The Bible talks about these things like what you need to do if you're sick. I mean, you got to get it together. I'm every day I'm working on it. I am not the pinnacle of all things known about health or anything like that. I'm on this journey as well. I'm striving toward perfection just like everyone else. But like I said, I serve the Most High Yahuwah, and that is who I trust for my information. You gotta be mindful of where you get your information as well, okay? Because he has the perfect plan for you. No matter who wrote whatever book, he's got the perfect plan for you. No matter who said whatever, or whatever platform, how many thousands of people follow this guru or person, he's got the plan for you. He knitted you together in your mother's womb. He knew you before you got to this earth. So he can tell you exactly what is going to work for you. He might say, all you need is a castor oil pack. What's a castor oil pack? Oh, well, let me look it up. A castor oil pack, that's going to rid my body of the toxins that have been floating around forever. What are toxins? Oh, that's parasites. All these things are related. I'm doing a series on dental work right now, like our mouths. We don't realize our mouths are very filthy. Our mouths are the gateway to disease and sickness. And what are people putting in their mouths? Way more than food, I'll tell you. And we got to be mindful of these things, and we got to make some changes.
Indeed. I want to add to that real fast before we go to Sister Yadoa. I strongly recommend everyone, all of us, to do a heavy metal detox cleanse. Just like Sister Cece was speaking on parasites. Parasites can survive. Even if you try to detox, they still can survive detox because they hide behind metal detox in your body. I mean, heavy metals in your body to not get flushed out. And when parasites live in your body, they actually lodge themselves right here in the base of your spine, on top of it, like in your neck and your spine where it meets. That's where they hide at. I just send there.
All right, Sister Ola.
Okay, all praise, all praise. Sister Cece, I want to thank you for your information, sister. And by the way, you have some lovely skin.
Yes, she does.
Her skin is lovely. Her teeth are amazing. They're amazing. So I'm definitely gonna listen to what that sister got to say because I want my teeth, my skin to look like that. Definitely. And we have to understand something else. This food crisis here is not just in the USA. Okay, it's even going abroad. As some brothers know that my husband is overseas in the continent, and the Europeans are pushing their fertilizers on this beautiful, vibrant land. And now we're getting more cases of diabetes, high blood pressure, and all type of things going on. When I went over there the first time, that shows you how ignorant I was here, is that I saw a cow. Now the cow's outside grazing. No feed, no hay. You just let them go out there and graze. And I'm looking at these cows and said, these cows, they sure don't look malnourished. I don't know if I want to eat that. It looks sick. And he said, baby, no. He said, that's the natural way they're supposed to look. And as I told him what the cows are like in America, they said, that cow is something wrong with that cow. What y'all feeding that? He said, imagine the kind of meat that's yielding, and you're putting that in your body and you're feeding it to your children. We don't give our kids, cow milk for cereal. We don't do that. What I saw, and then I looked at like what the sister was talking about, when you go into the grocery stores, and I went into I compared going to a grocery store over there to an American market, and I'm like, okay, it's basically the same. But when I went into the actual market over there and saw fruits and vegetables in their natural form, not pumped up, not, not these shiny, bright colors of apples in their natural form, I said, okay, I get it. And what I did experience also is when, after 2 weeks of being over there, almost 3 weeks, I ate the food over there. I ate rice, I ate bread, but I didn't get sick. As soon as I came back to the States and I went and got myself something to eat, I vomited. I vomited so much for about 3 days. My parents said, "Are you pregnant?" I said, "No, I'm not pregnant. What's going on?" So I went to my doctor, and my doctor said, "Have you been abroad?" I said, "Yes." He said, "Where'd you go?" I said, "I went to West Africa." He said, "That's what's going on." He said, "Your body is rejecting our food. Your body's rejecting it." He said, "That's why you're getting sick. You're not." He said, "It's something wrong." So I said, okay. And even during when the pandemic happened, and I was sick with, the COVID virus or whatever the heck that was, and I got very ill, my body wouldn't eat the regular food. So I went back to eating more Asian food. I ate vegetables. I ate a lot of drank coconut water. I started eating more spicy, and I started to heal. I mean, people were talking about, oh, you get it for first time you get COVID, you have it for 2 weeks. Yeah, the first couple of days. And when I stopped eating the American food and eating the things that I like to eat, because, you can take a DoorDash and get what you want, and went back to cooking foods from my ancestry or other melanated people that know what they're doing, it began to heal. And I'm like, okay, so I get it now. Same thing happened when I came back last year. Went over there, ate well. My body had started regenerating. My skin felt better. My stomach wasn't as queasy anymore. I didn't have the anxiety. As soon as I ate something from this very land, I got sick as a dog. Then also now I'm a diabetic. Now they want me to take Ozempic. They saying I got high blood pressure. Now they're saying that I have a heart, and all of a sudden they're saying that you have a thick lining around your heart. I'm 38 years old. I shouldn't be sick like this. I'm a young woman. And then when I found out over there is that some of my in-laws, my cousins over there, my in-laws were dying of common things. One of my cousin's wife died of diabetes. Another one died of a septic infection. And I said, and my husband said, "Baby, this is not normal. It's something you find in the West." I said, "Because you guys are starting to eat westernized food. They're pushing the fried chicken on y'all. They pushing the Domino's pizza on y'all. They pushing the ice cream on y'all. They're pushing things that's not natural to your bodies. Stop eating it. It's not real." And we also got to be careful going to the farmer's market too. Me and my sister Rafal had a conversation about tomatoes. I love tomatoes. My kids love them. She got a tomato from the farmer's market. She looked in it with GMOs all over the place. I went to the farmer's market to try to get some bok choy. I didn't know what that was. I bought some strawberries one time, and now I'm like, okay, the strawberries usually take about a week or so to kind of, I didn't eat them for a while, so I said, okay, they probably molded. They were still the same state after a week. And it will be organic strawberries. Now I'm scared.
Sister, let me ask you something real quick. Well, all you guys. When it comes to us melanated Black people, however you want to identify, what do you think has more of an adverse effect on our health? Is it our cultural food, greens and, fried chicken, or is it the American food, burgers, cheese, pizza, hot dogs, those things? What do you think has more of a negative effect on us?
It's both.
It could be both. but it's more of the Americanized, this food of convenience. Because if we go back to our traditional ways, our ancestors really didn't have all these ailments. You know, you had our ancestors lived to be 90, 100 years old. Now that we're ingesting all this processed, convenient food, this is where we come up with all these ailments, juvenile diabetes, all of these unknown, these rare cancers. You know, you have young ladies who are not even being able to reproduce because of the things they have ate when they have came up. The school system, the food everybody used to love to go to lunch. Now they're feeding our children garbage. So if we so it's like over the past, I want to say almost 30 years, our food our ailments, our health, and our culture has increased tremendously. My mom passed away from severe sepsis, and when I say that she cooked good meals, eating out was a reward. So we had to actually work to pay to eat out ourselves if we wanted to eat out, but we had home cooked meals at home. When my mom started getting on all this medication, because now she has what you call high blood pressure, but we all eating the same food. I don't have no high blood pressure. I had a child at 42 years old with no medication. And so I was very proud of that because of the way that I eat. I have friends that I went to school with that they're now dependent on high blood pressure medication because of the way that they eat. It's not that we're getting it from the home cooked meals. We're getting it from Mickey D's and Burger King and Popeye's chicken and what the other place, Chick-fil-A, and all these places that now, you know, and we have a lot of our families that don't cook like mama them used to cook back in the day. Now you got microwave shorties and air fryer mamas, and you know everything is convenient. So now you have little children that's 4 or 5 years old that has all these what you call ADHD and all of these things because it's what we putting into our bodies, and what we're consuming as consumers. And once again, we're going to have to take back because our grandmas and grandpas used to grow things right in their yard. And so now we don't know where this stuff is being grown. So it's what we putting in our system. So it's not just it's both, but it's more of the convenience of this food that we're getting. Our food, the United States food, is banned in almost 90 different countries.
I want to add to that real quick, you all. I strongly encourage you all that when you go to the grocery store to shop, pay attention to the labels on the fruits. You know where they have like the little stickers on there where it shows what farms these fruits coming from. Bill Gates purchased over 75% of our farms. So Google which farms that he owns and try to avoid everything that come from his farms, because everything that he's growing on his farms are GMO.
He has over 1,000 acres in Louisiana. He has over 1 million acres across the United States. And a lot of and now if you go into the market and you see that they have a sticker on there. So now that what they stopped doing is putting the name of the farm. Now you see the farm number.
Yes.
So now they're getting, and a lot of these big box commercial farmers lease land over in these other countries and grow food in these other countries. Those countries don't eat our food,
No.
but they grow it because it's the economic development and the workforce development. But when it comes to, I might be talking too much, but I've been in this industry, grew up in this industry, and saw these industries where they have a watermelon, for example. A watermelon do not grow year round, y'all.
No,
So in
don't.
order for it to keep up the supply and demand for a watermelon, they have to grow it somewhere else. We were ordering cantaloupes and watermelons from Honduras. And they and these are companies that grow over there to keep the supply and demand in the United States. So when it comes to us educating ourselves and staying in the know of what is going on, the only thing that I can recommend is that you grow your own food. That's it. That's
Amen.
the only thing that I can recommend, because there's no other way around it. If you're not growing your own food, there's no way in the world that you could say that I know what I'm eating, because you don't know what you're eating.
That's the truth, sister.
Well, that's what I
And
want
I'm
to
gonna
say.
land my plane
Yeah.
with that.
That's what I'm saying, Sister Plant Lady. That the fact that we have to understand that we know our enemy is going to be the enemy. So if we know exactly what they're going to do, we got to look at ourselves and grow our own food and start that being the process of doing that. You know, the Bill Gates and these companies that we talk about, they're born to do what they do, brothers and sisters. So we can't get mad at the enemy if he's doing what he's doing. He's born to do what he's doing. He's not in the business of proper health. So we're looking for them to give us the proper health, then we're going to be mistaken. We got to own our own farmland. We got to grow our own food. And that's the process that we have to be in. I mean, I pray to God that most of us in here, our organization own farmland, are in the process of doing that, because this is not going to get any better for us as a people. If we think that our oppressor and his children are going to one day feed us, you know, we have said if a person don't treat you right, they're not going to feed you right.
No.
And so we got to look for ourselves to own. We have enough money to do stuff small in our communities where we can own our own gardens at least. And then, you
You
know, if
can
we got
start
our own
growing in your
farmland, I mean, I'm
you can
glad my
start
sister
growing in
them.
your own yard. You can
Yes.
start growing right if you stay in an apartment, you can start growing on your balcony.
Yes.
If you stay in the city, you can start growing inside your house.
Right.
Question: what about those who stay in apartments, but then you live up north like me? I'm in Ohio. I'm up here. I'm right
Sister,
across the water from Canada.
you can start growing inside your house, ma'am. All you have to do, a plant needs air, water, and sunlight. You can sit your plants right by your window, or open your window, let your plants get, if you don't have a balcony, sit your plant when the temperature rise, you just sit your plants outside, let them get the natural sunlight, the natural air, and give them water and nourish them. And also the same way you nourish your body, you nourish your plants. You nourish your herbs, because no matter if we're buying these things, we don't know who handling our foods. We don't know what state of mind that this harvester is in, that is growing our fruit and vegetables or harvesting our meats. We don't know what state of mind that these people in, or what conditions that our fruit and vegetables or our meat and poultry has to go through before it gets to our table.
Indeed.
So when I took a class and I had to write a paper on some chicken companies. I don't want to say no name on here, but I had to write a paper. The way that these companies torture these animals, and if you are an animal lover, yes, you would steer away from the meats, because the anguish and the pain that these animals have to go through. You see people stepping on these animals' head, and you wonder why why you got to put tenderizer on your meat, because it's the state that that animal went through before it got to your table. Because all they doing is just, torturing the animal. The animal tensing up, and because it's going through a horrific ordeal before it gets to our table. I stopped eating pork a long time ago, and I have family that eat pork, and it was just a choice that I made because I was around some Rastafarians, and they educated me on why I shouldn't eat this meat. And they was like, well, try this for 7 days. And when I tried their way for 7 days, I never went back to pork. And when I would go home, of course, you grew up on this. And people would just deliberately put pork in their food, and I wouldn't eat it.
And Plant Lady, hold on. What do you think the obsession is with the pig in our community?
Because it was cheap. It goes all the way back to slave time. So that was our delicacy, just like oxtails. Now you go try to buy an oxtail, and oxtails about $10 for a pack with 4 bones in them. So that was something that was traditional to us, but over a period of time, our ancestors used to grow their own pigs and slaughter their own pigs and slaughter their own animals, and they knew what they was feeding their animals. Now that all of that has taken away from our culture, now that we're not harvesting our own animals and growing our own fruit and vegetables, and we're depending on somebody else to do it. Now we getting fed whatever.
Indeed.
So it's to the point where now, if we can't go back to our traditional ways in Kofa, go back to what we know, then we just spin in the circle, because we got to go back to what we know in order for us to be absolutely free.
Yes,
indeed.
Sister Tiffany.
Yes, thank you. I'm going to lower my hand at this point. I just felt the sensitivity to maybe change the vibration, just because my cortisol levels is just up just listening to so much death talk. I want to remind us all that, and I didn't really go into my background as a kid. I know some of us did, but I will, just for the sake of clarity. I started changing my behavior as a whole person. I wouldn't say I became perfect. There was still a lot of changes I made as an adult as I came into more knowledge and wisdom and spiritual growth. But I started changing a lot of my nutrition first. And a lot of that was the Holy Spirit. It wasn't because I read a whole bunch of books. It wasn't because I watched all the fear and fear mongering online and all of this crazy, like I can just feel the anxiety just in this space right now. So I just want to say that I want us to be reminded that we do have an enemy, but we serve a sovereign being who is in control of everything. And I can honestly see by the awareness in this group that it's by the renewing of your mind that this growth begins to happen. It is a spiritual walk The more you grow and you have developed spiritually, there is a part of you that is renewed that makes these changes. Some of us, yes, we were raised in an environment that allowed us to be aware of some of the differences and the changes and things like that. But there is a seed in all of us, especially in this group, because I can hear it all. We wouldn't all be having this dialogue if there wasn't a level of awareness that I know is deep-seated in our spirit. And one thing that spiritual maturity is reflected in our behavior, which is a reflection of your soul, which is your mind, will, and emotions. And when your mind changes, your will and your activities begin to change, it manifests in your physical body. Now, as we go, we are going to change and change what we eat, maybe increase our activity, restrain from certain things, and it's going to change the presentation of our outer being. You know, I was organically guided, but that didn't mean that there wasn't more for me to learn. But one thing I want you all to remember, that true health is joy, and joy is a gift of the spirit. And whatever you decide to do, there is going to be this mechanism in you, whether you eat meat or not, whether you are plant-based, whether you do this or that, there is going to be a part of you that is triggered to do certain things. Like, for instance, going back in my days where I used to drink, we used to go out and drink sometimes. There was still a part of me that knew I needed to drink a whole bunch of water the next day, just keeping it very basic. There is going to be parts of you that is organic and moving in the ways of righteousness. It may be small steps, it may be larger steps for some, but I want to just read, just one little segment here that I thought was just very powerful. It says, a cheerful and good heart will have a care for his meat and diet. So at the end of the day, when you have a love for the divine, you have a love for yourself, and you treat your vessel as a place where the Most High dwells, you're going to just have a different awareness. And then there's going to be parts of you that shares this information and makes it accessible. The issue is not that people don't have a desire. It's that people don't know where to get these things. Do you see what I'm saying? We have laws in place that don't let you make your own bread. We have laws in place that don't let you grow your own food in certain places. So we can have this mentality, but what are we doing to actually solve the problem? Let's start networking to share this information for people who aren't aware. We also have to be mindful of our tendencies to operate in excess. We are excess. You can even be excess in fear, and that can create sickness. So it doesn't matter how good you eat. If your mind is focused on fear all the time, you can still put on weight. You can still be unhealthy. My husband, take me off. But anyway, no, you're fine. But, there's contamination in the air. We just talking about food. We got contamination in the air. We got contamination in the water. We have all these different things, but we also have ways of cleansing ourselves, making these things accessible as well. Let's provide the solution, not just talk about what's wrong. I know about slavery. I know about ignorance. I know about contamination. I know about the system. How are we going to fix it? I do believe in chiropractic. I do believe in healthy eating. I do believe in detox. I do believe in all of these things. Criticizing doesn't work. Giving the solution does. And I think that one area in which we hadn't talked about, which is, I think, an incredible detox, is fasting and prayer. Fasting and prayer is an incredible detox, because as far as I'm concerned, the cleanse happens spiritually and manifests physically. And I'm just saying, I think that we need to balance out this dialogue, not with what just is wrong, but how we can shift it. Because if I go and read all these articles, I'm going to be afraid to go anywhere to eat. I'm going to be afraid to go anywhere. But show me where I can go. Like one thing Sister Cece and I, we always talk about is, herbs, where we can find good herbs. We was just talking about that earlier today, showing people where they can find reliable fruits and vegetables. Like we have local farms here. We do support the co-ops. We do, make the effort. But, I think that, if I may say, my main concern, I think that I've observed is this fear of this world. And we are supposed to be in this world, but not of it.
Right.
So that's all I wanted to say about that.
Thank you, sister.
That
Can
was
I
good.
ask Dr. Reason, what advice do you have? Because, like she was saying, yes, we definitely are bringing out the issues we have, but, you deal with people coming in with aches, pains, and different things, which also is a result of diet and poor living. So what are some things that you would advise people on to help them? Because, just like with a building, you can't have a house up without a strong frame and foundation. And our frame, our bones, is a part of our foundation, right? So what can you tell us to help us, on our journey to better health?
Well, first off, everybody's been saying educating yourself. That's the first step. She just laid it out for you. And you can't be hard on yourself when you're starting this health journey. A lot of people get started on their health journey because of some kind of symptom that they have, and they're searching for answers to try to figure out how to fix it. That's the best place to start. Start researching. If you have some kind, it could be any kind of symptom. It could be just gas, or it could be your weight. It could be, just emotional issues. It could be whatever symptoms that you feel like you need to change. My advice would be to start researching that particular symptom and get the ball rolling. She was talking about positive things that you could do instead of focusing on the bad stuff. Let me back up for a second and just help people kind of understand, like, we're talking about food and your diet. There's different ways your body digests your food. There's different levels. We're talking about eating fruits, which digest quickly through the body. If you want to do cleansing and getting your body cleansing, you want to eat more fruits. If you want to start building up your tissues, you want to eat more of the vegetables, because those got the minerals in them that helps to rebuild your tissues. When you start moving into the meats take a long time to digest in your digestive tract. When you look at, I'm backing it up a little bit, but for some people that just kind of want to understand how the body works, most of your energy expenditure comes from digestion. And if you're constantly, we're taught in school to eat 3 meals a day. But when you're constantly eating all the time, it doesn't give your body enough time to eliminate the waste. Just like we have human bodies that eat and eliminate. We eat food and we eliminate. We either urinate or have bowel movements. We sweat it out. Every cell in your body takes in nutrients and eliminates waste. In America, we've just accumulated so much waste in our bodies. We don't give our bodies enough time to eliminate that excess. The other sister was talking about how the fat is stored in your body. All the toxic waste that we're taking in, our bodies are just pushing it into our fat cells because it doesn't have time to eliminate, because we've already taken in the next meal and the next meal and the next meal. So, like, bringing it forward with fasting, when you fast, what happens is all that energy that your body's using to digest your food, if it doesn't have to digest your food, what it's going to do is it's going to use that energy to eliminate the toxins that are stored up in your fat cells. It's going to give your body time to eliminate all the meals that you've just over accumulated in your body. Again, it all just comes, if you want to get a good start, just focus on what are you tired of in your body. Look that up online and start researching that and how to fix that one thing. Don't try to just become a vegan overnight, because that's a very difficult thing to do, to just change your mental focus and your mental attitude towards food and just make that quick change. It's a journey. Healing is a journey, and it takes time. Don't be so hard on yourself if you're not, and don't compare yourself to nobody else. You all have your own personal journey to walk, and you just want to focus on one little thing at a time, master one little piece at a time, and then watch your body transform and change.
Can I ask Dr. Flores a question?
Yes, ma'am.
So I have a question to ask you your thoughts on integrative doctors, also blood work, the importance of blood work when you really want to know about what's going on in your body. Would you suggest getting your blood work done, urinalysis? You have a lot of holistic doctors that they'll take your hair, they'll take your urine, they'll do a lot of these. What is your thought processes on the effectiveness, the accuracy of certain types of tests like that? Or would you say that blood work is going to be the most ideal when giving you a reflection of what's going on? I mean, you have people that read the tongue, they read the gums, all kinds of different things. So what, from your perspective, would be the most effective way to learn about what where your body is in its own processes, what levels are up, down, off, and etc.?
Yeah, the blood test is a great place to start. What you're talking about is more what's called functional medicine. There's doctors out here that focus on doing all the tests that a medical doctor would do: blood tests, urinalysis, saliva, hair analysis, but they don't focus on treating it with a medication. They'll focus on finding an herb or supplement that will help edify and strengthen that particular weakness in your body. It's called functional medicine. And so, or a holistic doctor, a holistic medicine. I think blood analysis is a great way to start. But any of those tests, if you just do one, if you just get a stool sample, you can find out all the bacteria that's in your gut and see if you got an overload of the bad bacteria, or see which missing good bacteria you have. Then once you find out what your stool analysis says, then you could take the proper probiotics and introduce that into your lifestyle. Any test that you do is great. And once you find the answer to the test, then you find a natural solution for it, so that you can begin to heal yourself in that particular area. So I hope that answers your question.
I want to piggyback off of what the doctor was talking about when he mentioned fasting. I want to put it out there. According to Dr. Sabi, he says that the best time to eat is after 12 p.m. So eat between 12 p.m. to sunset. Never eat after sunset, because from the sunset all the way up until 12 p.m. the next day, that's when your body is detoxing everything from the previous day. So you need that period for your body to cleanse and detox. And it's better to drink like a glass of water when you first get up in the morning, before you eat at 12 p.m. So I just want to put that out there.
We have some hands raised. I can't see where the other one went, but I see Kevin. Or maybe not. Okay, Terica.
So I have a question for any of the doctors or anybody who's an expert. Oh wait. Okay. So I know like in school we're always studying like different diseases. And one thing I've noticed is they always bring up the Mediterranean diet. So I wanted to know like what would you say is probably the most effective diet? Because we learned about the DASH diet, low carb diet, plant-based, Mediterranean. So what would you say is like the most effective diet?
I can't say that I would say what diet is best. I think you want to make sure that you get some assessment done to make sure that you are going to not deplete yourself in any area. But I myself am more of, I operate from more of a Mediterranean diet myself, and I've always been that way. I do believe that it gives me a nice balance of, fats, moderate carbs, and protein, and that's served me well. I think what I like the most about it is it gives you great alternatives for protein as well. And I think that's the biggest challenge for most people is getting enough protein in their diet, getting the amino acids, because your body's constantly building and breaking down. And if you are breaking down more than you're building, you're going to suffer weakness in some area of the body. And it can manifest in a lot of different ways, lethargy, pain, a lot of different things. But I'm a big proponent of the Mediterranean diet, but I can't necessarily say that's for everybody.
Question for those out there who are not on a panel. Many people may not even know what the Mediterranean diet consists of. Can one of you all break down what a Mediterranean diet consists of?
Oh, we can Google it.
Well, let's Google it.
Well, I can answer it. I know it's more of the vegetables and fruits, and then you're eating like minimal meat. I'm trying to think of what else.
What type of meat does it consist of that you're
Isn't
allowed
it
to eat?
seafood?
I would say
Like a pescatarian diet, like?
yeah,
Okay.
something like that. Yeah.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yeah, this is Gabriel. I'm actually Tiffany's husband. And even though I'm African, I grew up in Italy, so I was raised with the Mediterranean diet. One main thing that people oversee about the Mediterranean diet is the freshness of the food. There's very little refrigeration as far as freezing things. As much as possible, people buy the foods that they eat in that same day, and that's a huge component. Like whether it's fruits and vegetables, or even the people that do eat meat. I grew up by the sea, and people are very much strict about eating fish that was literally fished the same day. So they don't refrigerate as much, and a lot of it is also using the oils like olive oil and things like that that are obviously harvested in that area, which is whichever land that is exposed to the Mediterranean Sea. Um, uh, they do eat meat. I mean, I can only speak for Italy per se. They do eat meat, but again, it's all about the freshness of the food. And compared to the American diet, or the more mainstream American diet, there's almost very little to none fried foods. I was very much shocked when I first moved to the United States how much fried food there is here. I was not used to that, and it was kind of like a shock to my system. So I know that that's also a huge component. And of course, is the whole idea of breaking down the courses into smaller plates rather than putting everything on one plate. So people take longer to eat. They sit at the table for at least an hour for every meal, and they allow them their bodies to digest each component of the meal, and they wait in between courses. So that's kind of my Just wanted to give my 2 cents from my personal experience.
I
Empress
wanted
me.
I
Oh,
wanted the expert to say it. I was like, you gotta tell him you're right from there. So I wanted to give him a second. But if you wanted just to be very specific, I said I didn't want to leave anything out. So it's pretty much fruits and vegetables, olive oil, whole grains, legumes, which are like beans, lentils, chickpeas, nuts and seeds, fish and seafood, low fat dairy, poultry, red meat in small quantities, and they do incorporate wine as well. And one thing we do talk a lot about that is the biggest thing is the portion sizes are extremely small as well.
Okay.
I want to
Respect.
ask Empress Meeks, for people who are trying to come off of meats because you are a plant-based chef, what are some good substitutes? Like for chicken, for instance, Black people love chicken. What is something that they can use in place of that yard bird?
You can start off with mushrooms. They have different type of mushrooms. You can start off with oyster mushrooms, lion's mane. They imitate different things. Lion's mane, you can make crab cakes from. You can oyster mushrooms. You can do pulled pork. Jackfruit, you can do pulled pork. There's many supplements to um, devour you from eating meat itself. The flavors are still there. You just have to be very intentional with your spices and everything that you grew up eating. You can still eat. You just do it differently with no dairy, no eggs. You can use chickpeas as your egg, as in chickpea scramble. You can
Mm-hmm.
do tofu, but that's soy. So you do that as a minimum. It's a lifestyle. It's not going to happen overnight, but there are ways to get you off of meat. If you're trying to change your liberty, if you're trying to change your lifestyle, there are different ways to help you. If you are love rice, okay, um, I wouldn't say stop rice completely. Maybe 3 times out the week, have some quinoa.
Mm-hmm.
you know, and, enhance your taste buds because we're so accustomed to eating the same things all the time because we grew up on this. Like, oh, I'm not going to like this or I don't like that. Well, we're too old to just be eating for taste. We should be eating for health wise, because um, everything starts with the womb. Your womb, your gut. We have a lot of people have leaky guts. A lot of people have illnesses that you're trying to heal within. You want to move your body through meditation, yoga, any kind of movement so that your body don't have any dis-ease and be stagnant. When your body is stagnant, that's where the dis-ease comes. And the viruses are prone to you. Such as when it's sunny outside. Go outside and sunbathe, get those sun rays because Black people lack vitamin D.
Exactly.
They lack vitamin D. So if you're outside, open your windows or go outside. You cannot go outside, open your windows. Get them sun rays when they're at the highest. And as far as protein, you have chickpeas. You have all kind of leafy green vegetables that can help you. When you get up in the morning, have a glass of warm water, not cold water to shock the system, but warm water with key lime or chlorophyll
Mm-hmm.
or put a crystal in it. Have a green juice, anything.
Mm-hmm.
And we have to nourish our body and our system from within. Anything that you ingest, you want to be healing yourself. You want to be eating live foods versus dead foods. Not too much processed foods if you're eating processed foods because that's just as bad as eating meat.
Mm-hmm.
There's ways to heal the body, heal thyself. I'm reading a book that I've had for a while. It's called the African Diet. The African American diet, and you can get it on Amazon or Barnes and Nobles. It teaches you how to heal thyself from within through herbs and through herbs and teas. Like have yourself some caramel tea,
Mm-hmm.
fennel tea, green tea with oregano oil. all of that can be, or bush tea. All of these things can heal if you drink it daily, can heal you, pull the mucus off of your system. That's just a little bit of, you know, Princess,
Oh,
getting
and
back to the
one
principal.
more thing. What about when we're trying to come from white sugar? What's a good, especially when like I bake a lot. What's something
Mhm.
that's to
I do
replace that
too.
white sugar?
Raw cane sugar.
Okay, so I bake a lot as well. So you can have raw cane sugar, but you can also use agave,
Mm-hmm.
maple syrup, date sugar, dates itself. Because raw cane sugar is good, but also I believe that brown sugar itself is this white sugar with molasses on it. So even if you're going to use that, don't use too much of it, because that is where the sickness comes in. Sickness comes from the sugars, the starches, the breads, and all that. And I'm a bread lover. You know, I was diagnosed with lupus in 2013 after I had my son. So I used to eat chicken. I was still a Rastafarian, but I used to eat chicken and fish. I crossed over to Dr. Sabi lifestyle, and I did the alkaline diet to heal myself, to get off of those meds. So I no longer take those meds, because I've healed myself off of it, and I'm not strict alkaline vegan anymore, because that was just too strict for me to maintain. But I went back to the doctor, and I wasn't on meds anymore, and they wondered like what was I doing, because they gave me an alive sentence, but I'm still here. I'm still here. So every day I have my turmeric latte, because that helps with the inflammation within the joints and everything. So yeah, I'm still here. Every day is a process. No one is perfect. Your journey is your journey. My journey is my journey. But if you want to heal yourself, you would do the necessary things to heal yourself from the things that you desire, because it's just like you said, it's parasites.
Indeed.
It's parasites
Mm-hmm.
tricking your mind to think that, oh, I want this, I want that, because they want you sick.
Mm-hmm.
Pharmaceuticals, you go to
Mm-hmm.
the doctor all the time. All they're going to give you is pharmaceuticals that makes them rich. No one's going to give you the answer to healing yourself. Look in your
Mm-hmm.
cabinet, your medicine cabinet. You probably have all the herbs and spices to heal yourself.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Before, oh, sorry. I was just,
Sorry.
sister, I was going to tell you because time is wearing thin. I want to get us to get the three hands that were raised, and then maybe we can go one by one to get your final thoughts, and also let us know your businesses and things of that nature. But Sister Rafaela, go ahead and say what you were going to say, and then we're going to get Sister Cece, uh, Sister Tangia, and Brother Muhammad, and then we'll go by and get everybody's final thoughts.
I just wanted to bring out a vital point that I think is very important before we close out the dialogue. It's important to know that when you're cooking your foods, um, I read that it is not good to use olive oil for high temperature cooking because it causes cancer.
Uh-huh.
So if you cook with high temperatures, use avocado oil or grapeseed oil.
Grapeseed oil.
And also vegetable oil is toxic. It's actually vegetable oil is actually soybean oil.
Yes.
Mm.
And
So
canola oil.
yeah. So try
Mm-hmm.
to avoid microwaves. Never cook your food in microwaves. Ever. Just I don't even have, my daughter would tell you,
I
I
don't
don't
have
even
a
have it in
microwave.
my house.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so these are things that we need to know as a people because it's killing us.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I
And do
just
you
seen there.
and do you think we should? Because one of my transitions to go to vegan was the plant based impossible meat. Um, the but I'm starting to learn that that's
No.
just as bad
You
as
know what I
No.
you
recommend?
know.
You know what I recommend for those who don't eat meat? Lion's mane mushroom is good as a meat substitute.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, Empress was
But
just
you
saying that.
also, instead of the impossible meat or the beyond meat, you can make your mushroom meat with mushrooms and walnuts. Now, if you're allergic to nuts, then you just make it from mushrooms or chickpeas or just mushrooms alone, and have your seasoning with your coconut aminos and your thyme and oregano, and it would taste the same as them impossible as ground beef. It would taste the same. It's an acquired taste, but once you keep working on it, you'll get accustomed to the taste. And it tastes, I have my clientele is mostly meat eaters, and they cannot believe that the food that I give them is plant based.
Mm.
They believe it's meat, but it isn't.
It makes excellent tacos.
Yes, they do. Or even
Okay.
lentils.
Mm.
You can use lentils instead.
Mm-hmm.
Good with
Okay.
some burgers.
Yes.
All right. Thank you for that. All right. In this order, Sister Cece, Sister Tangia, Brother Muhammad.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna back that lentil thing up because we eat lentils every rest day. Either lentils or chickpeas. Just rinse them, put them in the crock pot, let them do their thing, and that's a meal. Lentils, you can patty them out. You don't have to fry them. You can put them in the oven in your cast iron skillet or use parchment paper, which I just found out is poison, even if you have the good one by that one expensive company. So, there's always something. But you can make chickpea burgers. You can make lentil burgers. You just have to not be afraid to try things, first of all. And another thing I wanted to say is there's something called a junk food vegan. Okay. And we're just going to be real about that. There are people who want to be plant based, but there is a lot of stuff that they're doing to these fruits and vegetables that is equally as unhealthy as eating meat. Okay. So I will go ahead and talk about what is that place called? Oh my gosh. The Slutty Vegan in Atlanta. I've seen that food that they make there. And I am against it. I'm totally against it because I believe that you're in this walk to change your mind, to change your palate. And those things take time. You didn't get this way yesterday. It took you a while to get this way. So it might take you a while to change your palate. And you definitely have to be patient with yourself. There's a lot of things that you could be doing in between the start point and the end point. And I'm here to tell you there is never an end point. I'm still, going. I'm still trying to figure out what is exactly the things that I should do and shouldn't do. I mean, I'm at a good place, mind you, but you just have to decide that okay, I want to change my palate. I want to change my taste buds. And then when you do that, you will no longer crave the sugar and all this grease and just these breads. You won't change. You won't desire those things anymore because your taste buds will have changed. And I'm a witness. I fell off twice. I fell off twice. I'll never do it again, but I fell off twice. And I went back to chicken and burgers and all that stuff for a brief time. But now I'm not. I'm full fledged that. And that's serious. So I just want to tell people give yourself some time because if you don't enjoy the journey and what you're doing, you'll always fall off and
Right.
you'll always be hiding. You'll be in your car with a candy bar when everybody thinks that you're doing, this great job and you're sneaking food. So you don't want to be that. You want to give yourself time. You want to be patient with yourself and you want to love the journey. You want to love it. And I'm telling you, it's a glorious thing. Because again, I'll go back to that scripture in Romans. You are setting yourself up to make your body a living sacrifice, holy and acceptable unto Yah. And he's the one that will give you the desire to get that wealth in your body. He gives us the desire to get wealth. So even in our body. But I'll use this as my closing. My name is Sister Cece. You can reach me on Facebook, Cece Pruitt, SISI Pruitt. You can even call me if you want to, 314-384-8431. If you would like to talk about your journey, I'd love to talk. So we can talk on. If you want some help with getting off the meat and, getting down to business, hey, if you're in South Carolina, Well, wherever you are, if I can come to you, I'll come to you. We'll make that happen. You can listen to our radio station, PQLR1 Radio. Again, we're Yaz. First, you can look us up on YouTube with your Android app. You can definitely download the app. You can go in YouTube and grab the link, and you can listen to it on your Apple phone. You can see us on every social media platform. My husband, Willie Pruitt, is also a vegan chef. So we believe in true plant-based eating. And if you need some advice, we are definitely here to support you. Okay. So all praises to the Most High Yah. We hope to hear from you all soon. I want to thank you, sisters, for allowing us on here to talk about what we need to talk about, because this journey is a serious one, especially as time is winding up here with these people doing what they're doing. So we need to help them
Indeed.
possible.
Indeed.
So
And
all
Sister Cece, don't forget to put your radio, your air broadcast days and times in the chat too for us,
what do you
please.
mean? It's 24/7, but I'll put that in there.
Okay.
Did you also mention your herbs? I don't know if you did.
Are you talking about Rogers Hood?
Yes.
Okay, I did put that in the chat. So I am partnered with a wonderful organization called Rogers Hood. And Rogers Hood focuses on parasite cleansing, and not just cleansing, but also teaching you about the different things that infiltrate our bodies. And you can purchase kits, parasite cleansing kits, and they're made of all natural products, meaning herbs. I know some stuff says all natural, but this is all herbs, no pharmaceuticals. I did put the information in the chat. It is under it's at 8 o'clock. Like if you look at 8 o'clock, you'll see my information there. So it's rogershood.com, and then my link CC4RH. You'll see it there. So if you all would like to talk about parasite cleansing, losing weight, or any other health issues, like I said, we are heavy dealing with dental matters right now, because most people don't know that your dental is very serious. Like when they give you these crowns and fillings and fluoridated water, they're actually poisoning you. People don't know that every tooth in your mouth is connected to an organ in your body. So when they snatch out all your teeth, you're causing much detriment to your physical health. And most people don't know that. So these are things that we're talking about on PQLR1 Radio, as well as on our YouTube channel on PQLR1. So I hope to speak with all of you again soon. I'm going to get off, but I thank you so much, and I hope to do this again with you all pretty soon. Okay.
Thank you, Sister
Thank
Cece.
you so
We love
much.
you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you.
Okay.
Okay, Sister Tangia.
Yes, I just want to say thank you all for allowing me to come on here and to speak, and to also I want to be that solution where I want to be able to help anyone or assist anyone who wants to learn how to grow, and learn how to grow their own food, learn how to get into the agribusiness. I do that. And, where we can come together as a collective. I do have where I was teaching agribusiness. So that way we can gain that knowledge and be able to share that knowledge to our communities, and be able to be a wealth of knowledge to anyone who's willing to or wanting to learn how to grow in their homes, in their yards. Also, anyone, you could download Farm Fresh 24/7, the Farm Fresh 24/7 app. That also, if you are a maker, baker, grower, whatever your services are, you can put those in that particular app and connect with local maker, bakers, and growers, where you're able to barter with each other. So this app, it is a grassroots movement. So that way we can all come together as a collective. My email is in the chat. If you have any questions or concerns, or I will share that information with you if you want to learn how to grow anywhere from hydroponics. I know it's a lot in here who deal with vegan and herbs. I do grow. I do grow starter plants. So like individuals get in contact with me and I do grow their plants of choice that they want to grow. That they need growing. So I do that in Louisiana. I grow for local gardeners and also local churches. I'm to the point where now I'm going to go into the schools and offer these services as well, so we could be able to be a asset to the community. And I do once again want to thank Sister Rafala and Princess Adai for this platform to allow us to get this message out to our community. And everyone, I just great conversation tonight, and I look forward to many more and connecting with each and every one of you. Peace and blessings.
Indeed. Thank you, sister. We love you.
Brother Muhammad?
Assalamu alaikum, family. I want to thanks again for sisters for and family for tonight. It's good to get information. It's great to see a community coming together to get the information out. But I'm going to also go with Sister Tiffany said too, is some of us with this knowledge, sometimes we can be a little bit zealot, making sure when you have this knowledge that we be very be very humble and be very cordial and, with our people when it's come to giving this knowledge to our people. We know the fact is that, we have been taught some wrong things, but when we're giving knowledge, we want to make sure we come in a spirit of inviting. That's the first one I want to say. I want to say myself, I'll make sure I do that, because when we come in a peaceful, inviting environment, then our people are more acceptable to want to change things that this knowledge that we have. So I want to just put that out there too. Number two is that I want to also talk about the importance of the navy bean. A lot of us talked about dieting. The navy bean is something that we also always promote and how to eat to live. Number one, it lowers heart attack rates. It stabilizes your blood sugar, and also lower cholesterol. The navy bean is a bean that is grown in the sun, directly in the sun. So you're getting all those nutrients. I think one of the Sister Brian talked about how important the sun is. You're getting all that nutrient from the sun in your body, and it fights off the radiation. So I want to tell you, if you can, I'll invite everyone to try to get that small navy bean in your diet. It does a lot of wonders in your body of healing. It does it makes your skin appearance look very well. It cleans a lot of bacteria out. So I just, and that navy bean soup is really good. Trying to put too much thought into it, but the navy bean is a good product too to get. Those of us, if you live in different states, the Nation of Islam, the organization, we have what they call the staple food program. We have our own farmland. You can get the staple foods. You can get your rice, your beans, your wheat, whatever you want. We have that is in your local cities. If you want to reach out to me and find out who your coordinator is in your local city, let me know about that. But we have the staple food program during the months when it's warm. Sister May mentioned about how the watermelon, we grow on watermelons there. So we have watermelons. We can take care of our own community. And then one of the solutions I want to say that we do, I just feel that more of us coming together, working together, that is the solution. That's going to be a solution for ourselves, for our children, for the future, for future of our grandchildren. Us today working together, owning and naming, defining for ourselves. So I want to thank you all for coming here. I have to get off the phone myself here because I got to break fast here. But I want to thank you all for coming. Anybody want to reach out to me, feel free to get a Sister Rafila and then get in touch with me. So I want to thank you all and greet you in words of peace. Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu alaikum and alaikum salam, my brother.
Thank you.
Thank you. We love you.
We love you too, sisters and brothers. Love you too.
Next, Empress Meeks, any final thoughts, and let us know about your businesses and any contact you would like to share with us.
I give thanks to the divine. I give thanks to you sisters this night, as well as the rest of the panel for having me come be amongst you guys. I'm grateful and I'm honored to be chosen to be on your panel to speak about holistic living versus plant-based diet. And, I put my email as well as my Instagram in the comments. So I'm open to more reasoning. I felt that this reasoning tonight was one of many that need to be coming. We can next time can get more into detail and better ways to, how you call it, give the information of what we can do to heal ourselves versus what not to eat and what to eat. Give solutions to herbs and stuff to heal ourselves. I had a whole list, but it's for another time, but it was a wonderful reasoning with you ladies and gentlemen, and I just give thanks to the Most High for bringing us forth tonight and having a smooth flow.
And for those on the East Coast who might want to get some of your delicious food, how can they reach you? Maybe they're watching on YouTube.
Oh, I'm not on YouTube, but I am on Facebook and I am on Instagram. I left it in the comment section. So
Great.
yes, and I
Okay.
also left my email. So yes.
All right.
Thank
Can
you.
you repost it? I don't see it.
Sure, no problem.
Yes, repost, please.
No problem.
Okay,
And
well,
I
we got Dr. Reason next.
want y'all to know that I am a seed of change. So I want to be able to help all of us be able to change to the positive. And Sister Tiffany, thank you for your message because you're absolutely right. We have to be the solution to the problem. In order to be the solution to the problem, we have to be the ones that if we have the knowledge, we have to share that knowledge with each other, and that's how we're gonna change. And so we got to change one seed at a time.
Indeed.
Yes, ma'am. I took your info too. I'm gonna be in touch.
Mhm. Indeed.
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for letting me be here today. Final thoughts are, just keep on taking one step at a time. Like whenever you get stuck, just always know you can just always take one more step. And it's a lifetime journey. Like one of the sisters said earlier, it's never going to end. The more you know, the more you want to know, and the more you know, you apply in your life, and the more you change, and it just keeps going over and over and over. Just keep growing and learning and spreading. Just I encourage everybody to continue to just spread their light and keep doing your divine purpose,
Indeed.
changing lives. And I don't know if you've heard this story about this guy that was throwing starfish in the ocean. It's a little story, and this little boy was throwing some starfish in the ocean, and this old man walked up to him and said, "What are you doing?" He said, I'm throwing this starfish back in the ocean so I could save them." And he said, "Well, there's so many starfish on this beach, you can't save them all." And then the little boy says, "Well," he tossed one in. He said, "I saved that one." So even if you could just get your message into one soul, one spirit, one body, that is great work that you're doing. And I just want to encourage everybody to keep doing what they're doing. Thank you for letting me be a part of your discussion.
Thank you. Thank you. We love you.
Love you too.
Hello, Galaxy. Galaxy phone. Can you take turn your camera on, please?
You can see me. Shalom.
Oh, that's Elder. That's Elder.
You can see me.
Check Voodoo. Elder Check Voodoo from Nigeria.
Yes,
Shalom.
I'm on the road running, so I'm trying to deliver something and then catch up, but I've been listening. And it's quite interesting, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Indeed.
when it has to do with man or our people, I always like to come in anywhere I can.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm thankful for the people that I listen to.
Mm-hmm.
Even though we have people like that, where many of us are people, they have doctors, we have doctors, you know, and we go to school. But when you look at the whole thing, you see that it now comes back to a mixed multitude situation. We are in the middle of you know, nowhere, but a lot of us know where they're going to and what is going on and what they need to do. So a lot doesn't know. So those are why, to me, I would love to say to us that with that knowledge of the Most High as a gift, who made us a doctor or whatever we acquired from education or by learning or study, it is still not complete. You know, if we do not learn more or study to search more from those that sought for immortality before us. Because I look at myself, I remember that I began from somewhere. And then at a point, I realized that truly, we should be able to know that veggies, or even making your food can take you a long way, because you have a faith, you have a knowledge, you have a belief. And then when you do things yourself, your belief brings in the energy which you require. And that will take you a long way. So these are the things that I think the parents, that was why I said the parents, our parents, or before we become parents, our children, they need to know. They need to know that those things are important, you know. Those things are important for them to
Indeed.
know before even having their family, so that they are going to be able to bring up their children that they will be proud of.
Indeed.
So there's so much to talk about, but I'm thankful for those that have spoken. Their statements, their comments, their statements and knowledge, their knowledge is well understood. And they can equally help a lot of us. You know, because once a year, people should go in for their lab work or to check up themselves. Very
Mm-hmm.
important. And then at
Mm-hmm.
the same time, we should be able to, those of us here have a call upon us. So that is why we are coming into this panel or looking for our purpose in so many ways. And so there's nothing we can do if the spirit is weak. And then we need to empower them spiritually to be able to awaken the flesh, because the flesh is bringing our people down. So
Mm-hmm.
there's so much to talk about here, but then let's continue with what we are doing. The awareness, the knowledge we are impacting is going a long way. Just let's not keep it to ourselves. Let us continue to spread it to our people, to anywhere we can, so that they will be, when they get home, they look at their children, they look at their people, they will be like, no communal life here quite well, but we can as well fear nothing and tell our brethren, it doesn't matter here, you don't talk to people, that's their choice. Of course, it begins with a choice, but we have to continue with that communal living here, to speak out. Let them abuse us. Let them say, it don't concern you, it don't matter, it's none of their business, it's okay. But when they go home, they will know that you are the one who loves them. So anyway, let me
Indeed.
leave it here.
Indeed. Thank you, Elder.
Thank you,
You all,
Elder.
Elder Chuck Wudu from Nigeria, Lagos. He is of the
Uh-huh.
Hebrew tribe.
Thank you. Thank
Thank you.
everyone.
Uh-huh.
Brother Thomas
Now,
Jackson.
Elder Thomas Jackson.
I have learned much, Princess Idea, from this group. I have gleaned a lot from it and some very insightful things where the community is coming together to produce what is not being produced readily to the community, to the world itself. They're coming together and making a difference, because one of the things that I gleaned was that when someone said the fruit in and of itself, the seeds plays a big part, because if it's GMO, I think someone brought it up, that could just be as bad as meat. So there was things that were said that I thought was very profound in that subject, the land of captivity. Well, again, the root of all evil is money.
Mm-hmm.
It's not about health, because it was about health. Let's just take money out of their pocket. So, with that, though, I like to contribute to this platform. It would be something about Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego and their diet. And they stuck to that diet. But the most profound thing about those Hebrew boys was the presence of God and the power. You see, when I was raising my girls, food was not a priority in my life. I was too busy, trying to make it. And there are people who do not have money to have a farm, and if you do grow food in your house, it's not something that is readily, it has its seasons. And, when you're in an urban city, like I'm in California, you can seek out people who actually have farmland, but it's not rare in California. So what am I saying? I think the greatest possession is the relationship with God, with the power of God evident in your life, because then if any sick among you, let him do what? Call for the elders of the church. Now, I'm not taking away from all this being said that contribute to African men history of diet and effect. But when life becomes more important than food, what do I mean by that? There is so much outside of food that we can enjoy that it doesn't become a priority. Life in itself, riding a bike, going to walk, looking at the nature God has provided. One of the things that food didn't become a priority in my life, because it's too much to enjoy. Working, doing things that embrace life. I think commercialism is what encourages us to be focused on food. That we made it a priority, the 3 meals. It's kind of subliminal message that unsubconscious, we're put on a time. Oh, it's time to eat. No. One sister says, Dr. Sabi says the best time to eat is after 12, from 12 to 6. I have to agree with that. The only reason why I can say that because I didn't make food a priority. I made life a priority. And the relationship with God is more. But when we put food at the forefront, of course we're going to think about 3 meals and the other things like sugar and that caters to the flesh. But when you make life, your family, your children, more of a priority, you can enjoy things without even have to think about food. And then the most important thing, that relationship that I love with the Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego. In the most difficult time, their strength and their confidence was in their relationship with God. So that's just my thought to add to this platform.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Beautiful. Thank you.
Sister Tiffany, did I get you yet?
No, but I'll keep this brief and I'm going to hop off. But thank you so much for having me. One thing I believe that's important is balance. We are integrated beings, and the best way to live healthy is balance. I make sure that I took everyone's information, because one thing I do is provide solutions for people who want to shift their whole processes from a nutrition perspective, from a fitness perspective, but also a holistic mind and body care perspective. As a person that believes in that, usually what I do is I meet the person where they're at. If they're looking to change their diet, but they do eat meat, I suggest healthier versions, healthier options. So if there is an individual who wants to go plant-based, this is why I would love Sister Bryant's information, because, this would be the direction that I move people. I don't necessarily try to take the onus all on myself to know everything, because we can't know everything. But I recommend what each individual would need in order to allow for more balance. So if they're lacking in fitness and activity, that's what we're going to do. If you want to change your diet all the way, or just eat healthier, that's what we'll do. If you want to find more organic local farmers, that's what I do. For me, it's about giving them what they need so they can make the shifts that they need. And I just highly recommend that we all just take it one step at a time, glory to glory. I pray everyone stays blessed, has a wonderful week. I did put my email and my website in there if you'd like to stay in touch. I look forward to speaking with you. Have a blessed evening.
Thank you so much. We
Thank you.
appreciate you.
Thank
We
you.
love you.
Love you right back.
Thank you. And last but not least, Sister Ola, do you have any final thoughts you'd like to share?
Once again, sisters, thank you for this wonderful, amazing class and panel this evening. We got a lot of knowledge. I love the fact that we can all from different perspectives get together and have a conversation without it turning to a nitpicking fest. It's been nothing but positivity. It's been beautiful. That's about it. I'm once again, brothers and sisters, we can make this happen together. We have to have accountability for our actions. We can't blame the oppressor to kind of get us out of a situation, because the oppressor is not going to help the oppressed to get back on their square. This is something that we need to do as a community. So I pray that we let go of certain things that divide us, whether it be Israelite, Christian, Kemetic, Muslim. We're fighting the same fight.
Right. Indeed.
And I want to tell my brothers and sisters here in the United States, the whole world's watching us. So don't think us FBAs, us foundational Black Americans are not being watched. We are the pillar of every single trend on the face of this planet. So they wouldn't be talking about no Popeyes in Africa if we wasn't the ones over here singing and eating it.
Agree, indeed.
So we have to regain our square. We have to change the narrative. We are more than just a bunch of people that play basketball and shake our behinds and play trap music and shoot guns. We're innovative. We have a doctor right here on the line. I'm so wonderful to see a doctor on the line. We are the healers. So our people abroad, they're watching us. So let's make a stand over here. Let's fix our situation here to inspire that mindset, so our other melanated brothers and sisters will know, hey, if they can do it, and they only make 12% of the population in that country, because ain't that many of us, we are outnumbered. If they can do that, then we can do it too.
Exactly.
Accountability. And another thing is, for our brothers and sisters that, I think the big issue that we've ever had with the whole farming thing is that we thought it was archaic. We thought that working with our hands and on the land was a form of slavery. No. Like our sister Tangia said, that he who controls the food controls everything.
Isn't that the truth?
So if we have, even when we came up out of, the physical slavery and the mental slavery, if we were actually doing the farming again, they would have to buy from us.
Indeed.
And so we have to take back control of that. My information is in the chat. I sell Mary Kay on the side, but I have a nonprofit that I work with in the state of Minnesota. It's called Warm Hands, Warm Hearts Foundation. Is geared to provide resources to the homeless community as well as the autistic community.
Indeed.
So
let us know if we can help you in any way, donate or whatever.
It doesn't matter. I take all support, and I support all my brothers and sisters, we talked about eating habits. Can you imagine what it's like what your meal will be if you don't have a place to live. Imagine what our brothers and sisters out there go through, as well as children who are on the spectrum. I'm a mother of 3 autistic sons, and I'm seeing that our children who are on the spectrum, they are picky eaters, and they're also more susceptible to have things like diabetes, high blood pressure, especially in our community. So I try to find resources and things to help autistic parents, proper eating habits, things that, to make sure our children are longevity is when they become adults, because we're not going to be here forever to take care of them. And the medical system is geared to make a profit off of our health. So we need to make sure we get better on health for our kids. It's like what the sister said about our teeth, the potassium levels, our calcium levels. We've been told we got to drink milk all the time, but we can get it from fruits and vegetables.
Indeed.
It's fun for our kids who are autistic, because they, like I said, if it don't look appetizing, they're not going to eat it. And we need to make sure that they less children in the hospitals, less children on medication, less children on psych medication. Whatever you ingest in your body is going to affect the whole world around you. So yes, be careful what you're eating, brothers and sisters. And all praise to the Most High, and I yield.
All praise to the Most High. Thank you, sister. We love you.
Oh,
Thank you for your time.
Dr. Reed, did you tell us your clinic information?
Yes, I had just messaged him too. I just messaged you to put that
say it out loud
for us.
Okay. Well, my office is in Louisville, Kentucky. I'm at 310 East Broadway, Suite 102, Louisville, Kentucky 40202, and my number is area code 502-600-0858.
Thank you.
And what's the name of the clinic?
It's called Innate Chiropractic, INNATE Chiropractic.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Got it. Thank you.
All right.
All right. Well, we've lost half the panel has clocked out, so we're going to go ahead and close it out as well. I'm going to ask Elder Thomas Jackson before we leave. Can you say a quick prayer for us?
Indeed.
Especially about our health, moving forward, please.
All right, again.
There you go.
There we go.
Well, with that being said, let us go before his presence. Father God, we just thank you again. We know that this body is a temple in which you dwell in. And Lord, we want to be good stewards of where you have resided in us, Father God. So therefore, Father, and then continue to give us wisdom that we can use this body for the edifying and glorifying of you. That means we have to be in good health and the strength. So continue to guide us, continue to inform us that we can be the light that you've called us to be in these dark times. But Lord, thank you for the women who are contributing by giving the answer. Bless them, continue to increase them, Father God, for the edifying of the body. This I ask in Jesus' name. Amen and amen.
So be it.
So be it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, everyone, have a good evening and a blessed week and a blessed, healthy week going forward.
Indeed. Peace and love, everybody.
Peace and love.